Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We got more football tonight. As a matter of fact, began a night ago, a string of 50 consecutive days in which we will have football games. Yes, that includes Tuesdays, that includes Wednesdays. I want to say it was from last night all the way up until November 22nd. Couple of college games tonight, of course. Everyone and their attention set on the District of Columbia, the Chicago Bears traveling to face the Commanders. Chicago's lost 14 in a row. Think about that for one moment. 14 straight for the Bears. They've lost 18 of 21 overall. There's speculation that if they get hammered tonight, that could be it for Matt Eberflus. He was the guy that many thought that Trent Baalke had handpicked to be the successor of Urban Meyer. Of course, it took him forever. You know, they brought him in and Jim Caldwell in, Peterson and Caldwell, and then they took 30-some-odd days. And I don't know what type of trip they went on, but it took forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then they settled on Doug Peterson. But there's still those out there who believe if Baalke had full say, Matt Eberflus would be the head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars. That is not the case. Instead, we are getting ready for Sunday morning. And football, the way it should be, played at 9:30 in the morning. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in beautiful London. Make sure you're up early. We'll have the pregame beginning, as early as 4 a.m.? I don't know. Is it 4:30, 5 a.m.?
No, we actually are not doing the local pregame this year.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would have loved to have Hayes Carline have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, but no, I think it starts around 7.
Okay. So we'll have it for you, though, right here on both our stations, 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. Staying power. Someone who spent a week in London before. Ugh. I mean, hopefully they just come out angry because they've been forced to do this home and away. And, I keep looking at the intangibles. Today, Buffalo practiced. Obviously, it's a shorter trip from them compared to us here in Duval, but they could be in the air right now as we speak. The majority of the stuff coming out of Buffalo today was positive because it involved Von Miller, who did take to the practice field today, and the speculation is that he is going to return for this matchup Sunday against the Jaguars. And there's so many ways that you can look at this game, and we'll do that again tonight. We'll do it tomorrow. Quick note, tomorrow's show, we're on 3 to 6 during high school football season. That is going to be on the AM, all right, the radio station and the app. We got a ton planned for you tomorrow. But, again, during the course of high school football season, we will do that on the AM. So look forward to talking with you coming up tomorrow. Everything in this game favors the Bills, okay? They're a better team. They are a better offense. They are a better defense. Statistically, that's proven. Also, just the eye test will tell you that is the case. I want to say that Jacksonville is in a situation where you're still waiting for them to play their best football, especially offensively. I mean, some of the numbers that we have seen so far on the offensive side of the football have been, obviously pretty difficult to explain. That includes really the last 3 games, only 3 offensive touchdowns. A team that is really not doing an awful lot outside of passing the ball to Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. I mean, the great Calvin Ridley, 15 receptions in 4 games. I think they're all right. I think it's just a matter of flipping the switch. And my theory on football forever has been run and stop the run and put together these long drives. I don't want a Big 12 version of the Jaguars. I don't want a Texas Tech under Cliff Kingsbury style of offense. I don't want an Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley style of offense where the average drive goes 4 plays, 75 yards, and it takes 1:19 off the clock. No. I want to bleed things out, especially against a very productive team. But I've kind of gone the other way looking at this game. I do not know if Jacksonville is going to have success running the football against Buffalo, even though the Bills have, statistically speaking, the worst run defense per average in the NFL. They also have allowed the fewest attempts at only 75, but that 6.3 does catch your eye. Do you have faith that this football team on Sunday, with the return of Cam Robinson, can just flat out tough Buffalo? Just get it done in the ditch and say, all right, well, let's play a down and distance style of game. Let's take it from first and 10, second and 6, third and 2, first down. You feel confident enough that this is the opportunity that Jacksonville is able to get that going with that particular style. And you know how they're struggling on third down. I mean, that's been talked about. It's been really disappointing. The first couple of weeks, they were dead last in the NFL at 25%. They have upped that just a little bit recently, over 30%, but still their third down offense has absolutely been sputtering. So instead, when I look at this game, I think it does come to being able to take shots now at this Buffalo defense, which is leaking a lot of oil in their secondary. Their best defensive player, Trey White, is out. That's a huge blow. Now, Dane Jackson's going to replace him. Dane Jackson has a lot of experience ever since being a 7th-round draft pick in 2020. Case in point, a year ago, he did play, he played 14 games last year for Buffalo. So he's not as good as Trey White, but the man does have experience. Then you go to the other cornerback and you look at Christian Benford. Just in his second year, he was a 6th-round selection a year ago. He's had a shoulder problem. He was limited earlier today in London. Actually, scratch that. The Bills did practice today in Buffalo. Again, as far as I'm concerned, they're in the air right now on their way over to London. But he's been limited both days. And then you look at one of their safeties, Jordan Poyer. Okay, he did not play last week. So far this week with his knee, he was limited. Let's see, bad news here, I guess. I'm never one who wants to see anyone, take advantage of another team because of injuries. It's part of the game. I'm not going to go through that whole song and dance, but I do see here today that he did practice in full. So that is an upgrade for one of their safeties. That's good news there in the middle part of the field. But I still believe that if Jacksonville can just step up their performance by 0.2 of a second, a quarter of a second, 0.3 of a second, then that'll allow Trevor Lawrence to not have to throw off his back foot to Calvin Ridley. That will allow Trevor Lawrence not to miss a wide open Christian Kirk because he didn't have time. He didn't see him because the pressure was on him. So I think pass rush in this game is incredible. The Jaguars, obviously 29th in the NFL in the pass block win rate. That is not good. I don't want to bore you with numbers. Statistically speaking, though, it looks like a massive advantage for Buffalo when you look at the Jaguars' offensive line compared to Buffalo's pass rush, and then you flip the field and you look at Jacksonville's pass rush, which has basically been non-existent outside of Jacksonville's Josh Allen against a Buffalo offensive line. All right, we got plenty to do tonight, and we're going to begin with Tim Brando. A lot of college football coming up. We're going to talk with Timmy B. Can Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M, which quietly is all of a sudden becoming, one of the better stories in the SEC, the way that they have played as of late. It's the left-hander, Max Johnson, the son of Brad, who is now the quarterback after the injury to Wegman. So, of course, he did have some success at LSU. Can he win a game here against Alabama, which doesn't feel like classic Alabama, right? It just hasn't all season long. You look at it, you see it's only a 2-point game favoring the Crimson Tide, and it just looks odd, right? It looks weird. It's one of those old adages that you've heard forever in the world of sports gaming. If it looks fishy, leave it alone. And you're trying to tell me that Alabama's only a 2-point favorite? I mean, there's part of me that says break the 10-year habit, Ballou. All right, go out back and dig up those mason jars and put all of your cabbage on Alabama -2. But I'm going to live by it. I don't have the itch. And there's something about this game that really interests me. Georgia, okay? What's going on with Georgia? Do they have a breakout offensive player not named Brock Bowers? Do they have a wide receiver who is a game changer? Or is this what we're going to get this year's edition? Not a great rushing attack after all of these years with standout back after back after back. And Carson Beck becomes game manager. You don't have all of these first-round defensive linemen on this Georgia football team. The good news for Georgia is, I think you'd agree with me out there, listeners, as a whole, kind of feels like college football's down. There's not a dominant team. Is there a team right now you can look at and point at and say they would have knocked off Georgia the last 2 years, or LSU of whatever that was 3 years ago or 4 years ago with Joe Burrow? No. The answer to that question is no. Yeah, last week I said I think the best team in college football was UW, and they laid a big egg at Arizona. Got out of there with the W. Is it Texas? We'll find out in Dallas. They have Oklahoma. Huge matchup there. So this is a exciting weekend. There's no doubt about it in the world of college football. We're going to kick it off with our good friend, Tim Brando. All right. Opening comments. Tonight, Shmunez, each and every night, Shmunez. Why? I love them. I mean, it's all about your eyes. Imagine going through life with bad eyes. Imagine thinking that your significant other is really, really no longer attractive, but then all of a sudden you put the contacts in, it's a brand new prescription, you're like, my goodness, is she hot? That could be the case. That's life. I see it on the golf course. I see it at games. I see it in the box when people are straining to see numbers. Did you catch a number on that particular individual? Why do we let our eyes go south? If anything happens really from the nose down, it's like, I got to see a doctor. You know, I felt a twinge, I got to see a doctor. Trying to lose weight, I got to see a doctor. Got high blood pressure, I got to see. But your eyes, and you notice it when you drive home, right? It's tough to see. Strained, fatigued. Don't worry about it. Now I'll push it off. Don't keep pushing it off. It's dangerous. And when you have someone like Shmunez Vision, regardless of what the set of circumstances are, they're there for you. All right, you're in your 40s, maybe you're in your 50s. You're starting to get nervous. Someone at the office talked about how their husband or their wife had cataract surgery and it didn't go over well. Well, I believe that, okay? I believe that that's the case. That's why I'm recommending the absolute best in town. If that's a problem for you, and cataract is for so many individuals, hey, you may not need surgery. It may be a simple remedy to clean it up. But if you do need surgery, I went 8.5 years ago to Dr. Neil Shmunez and have never had any setbacks since. So everyone in your family, from the kids all the way up to your grandparents, regardless of what the scenario is with your eyes, get to the best in those that you can trust. That's Shmunez Vision. Go to shmunezvision.com or check them out online, 299-2906. Tim Brando, a couple of minutes away. JJ LaSalva, are we on? I haven't even checked in with you on YouTube in like the last month. I feel like I've let that go.
We are on YouTube every day. We are on YouTube. Our listeners need to go to 1010XL's YouTube page. Even if you can't catch us live, it automatically archives right after the show.
All right, we're on YouTube tonight. We are on the text line tonight at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And, of course, you got us on 92.5 on the FM. On the other side, let's begin with some college ball. It's our weekly conversation with Tim Brando.
The goal of the game is to score more points.
And he's in for the score!
And there's usually someone who helps make that happen.
Oh, baby, what a catch!
Listen for the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Are you afraid to buy your next car? Well, have no fear, because Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet offer Beaver's not-so-scary pricing. There's no monsters popping up in your rearview mirror with Beaver's Peace of Mind warranties. Check out thousands of vehicles for sale online and get answers to all your questions with no tricks and all the treats. I promise our team will take away all those fears. Just come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville for Beaver's not so scary pricing.
All right, Ballou here, checking in with words of wisdom, brought to you each and every day by the good folks at Jimerson Burr. Let's go to Jim Maxwell once said, and I do quote, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." End of quote. Really? Really? Yeah, apparently that's there. And that's what Jim Maxwell said. All right, let's look at Jimerson Burr. And I was just talking about your eyes and your health. What about your legal health, business owners? You get nervous? Man, you better. If you see what's going on in our country, okay, look at it as a regular legal health check, regardless of the size of your business. Jimerson Burr will help you find potential legal issues really before they become a problem. It's early detection in the world of business as well. So for all the details, just go to jimersonfirm.com.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges to battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Mike Dempsey for Dandy Foods, and happy to report that Dandy has brand new goodies out there, only available at select gate locations. 4 delicious new lunch items to choose from: a hot roast beef and provolone, an Italian combo that'll melt in your mouth, spicy buffalo chicken, or a big old juicy 100% beef cheeseburger. They're all served on fresh ciabatta bread, baked locally and delivered daily, just as you'd expect from the folks that bring you fresh, never frozen goodness.
Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you, yeah.
Ride in style with a brand new set of tires from Tire Outlet. We offer the best selection, best quality, and best prices so that you can find the best tires for your vehicle. With over 40 years of experience and 15 locations across Florida, Tire Outlet is the brand you can trust with your vehicle's tires and much more. Hurry in for great deals on tires with our legendary price match guarantee. Our expert technicians are ready to do the maintenance and repairs to keep your vehicle performing its best. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
3-time SEC champion Chris Doering joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill.
I wish I'd seen you play football.
Wednesdays at 8:15.
I want the ball. Winners always do.
Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping clients all over Florida with their construction perm loans for 34 years. Construction perm loans are not easy to find because a lot of banks and credit unions don't understand them, and therefore they don't like to do them. Well, your problem is solved. Trustline Mortgage wants to help you build your dream home. Our construction perm loans are single close, so you save money by not having to close twice, like with other lenders. Some of our construction perm loans allow you to lock in your interest rate up front. And if interest rates go down, we'll give you the better rate. We offer up to 100% VA loans, up to 96.5% for FHA loans, and up to 95% for conventional loans. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you build your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing lender. MLS number 331480.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Wyoming! Never been. Seen a movie about Laramie. What, that's the late Conrad Dobler, right? Jay Novacek. Isn't Dewey out of Wyoming? Right here in Jacksonville? Andrew Wingard. I'm missing another one.
Taven Bryan, I believe. Wasn't he?
No, he's actually a Gator, but I think he's from Wyoming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, let's bring in our friend. It's our weekly conversation. Always a blast to have Tim Brando join us here with Rick Ballou. He's got a big one at 8 o'clock on Fox coming up on Saturday night. Hello, Timmy B.
Hello, Rick. You missed Chad Buma. That's another one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, look, not that I'm buttoned up on all my Wyoming information, but I thought I'd pass it along.
Yeah. Conrad Dobler, though, that's tough to beat right there.
A big one.
That man could play.
By the way, it's, for me anyway, the most important alum of Wyoming is the American sportsman, the great Kurt Gowdy, who was a Hall of Famer in both basketball and tennis as a player, and, of course, went on to become, for my generation anyway, the creme de la creme of all sportscasters on network television when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, and became my mentor in 1982 at the Final Four when we met, and he was on my radio show. I was 26 years old, and I was like a kid in a candy store, and I got to tell him my story. I got to tell him that I named my little brother after him, and then I put him on the phone with his namesake, who was only 14 years old at the time. And from that point forward, Kurt Gowdy was the first guy I turned to get any kind of tips on how to get ahead in the business and life itself. And certainly as a broadcaster, until he died, we were in contact, and we had breakfast at the Final Four every year until he stopped coming because of his health. So, they've got a state park about 15 miles outside of Laramie, and I'm going to visit it tomorrow.
What a story! And he was. He's on Mount Rushmore. There's no doubt.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
No question about it.
You got yourself a good one. Fresno State undefeated, Wyoming 4-1, Mountain West Clash, Fox Sports coming up Saturday night at 8.
Yeah, and I believe, the fly in the ointment, as I've said many times, coined the phrase when I was at CBS when Boise State was in position to, foul things up for a lot of the elite brand name programs. And this is the classic fly in the ointment game. I believe the winner of this game will be the New Year's Six Bowl team representing the group of five. And if we had a 12-team playoff, Rick, the winner of this game, in my opinion, would be the team that would be in the 12-team playoff, because Wyoming, as you know, is really good. Okay, they've got some really good wins already this year. They got Texas Tech off to a bad start, and I don't think that Joey McGuire's team has rebounded yet from it. And they had Texas locked up at 10-10 with 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter at Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium in Austin. So as much as I think of Texas, and I've got them number one in my poll, the team that gave them their best game was not Alabama. It was Wyoming. Okay, so that's a heck of a 4-1 team to have against the 5-0 Fresno State team. Jeff Tedford maybe has his best team ever, and that's with Jay Kaner now in the NFL as a clipboard carrier at New Orleans with the Saints. So I think that if you hang around with us on Saturday night, you're going to see a great game with a lot of big-time athletes, many that will play on Sundays too.
That is at 8 o'clock coming up on Saturday night, Wyoming playing host to Fresno State. Our guest is Tim Brandon. We talk with him each and every week, and, of course, he'll have that with his longtime television partner in Spencer Tillman, who I imagine may have an opinion on the Red River shootout at high noon on Saturday. Is Texas, I mean, they're a 5-point favorite here against Oklahoma. Is Texas the best team right now in college football?
I think so. I do. They are playing to their own standard, Rick. I used last week. Let's look at last week for an example, okay? The only other team right now, in my opinion, in college football that's playing to their own standard every week is Washington with Michael Penix. But the difference is Washington hasn't played anybody. Texas has. Okay? Washington's blowing out people. Getting, upwards of 50 points, it seems, every week. And their defense is playing at a high level right now. But I don't know until they start playing teams like Oregon, like Oregon State, like SC. I mean, when they start playing in the Pac-12, until then, we're really not going to know because their schedule has not allowed for us to really understand how good they are. In a lot of ways, this week is about defining who the contenders and the pretenders really are. And this Texas-Oklahoma game might prove that Oklahoma is a pretender, not a contender. Now, they had a good game last week against a bad Iowa State team. They did. Hung 50 on them. Dylan Gabriel is, after a bad season a year ago and a banged-up, injured season, seems to be on the same page with his wide receivers. They're still not running the ball well enough. I don't think Oklahoma can run the ball well enough to win this game. That's why Texas is favored. I think that's why Texas ultimately wins this game. But, the Longhorns have played good people. And like I said, that Wyoming game for a non-conference game at home, that was not an easy that was not an easy W to get. Mm-hmm. So they've been tested and have stood up to those tests. I think Florida State has maybe better wins, in terms of multiple wins than Texas, but I think Texas is playing to a higher standard than Florida State. The Florida State win at BC, as you know, was not not one to crow about. I mean, it just wasn't. You got to play to that standard every week, and I think that Texas has, and that's why I've got them where I've got them. I think the other team that maybe is doing that out west besides Washington is Oregon. They've taken care of business pretty well themselves with Bo Nix. But other than that, I mean, I don't see anybody in the Big Ten, certainly no one in the SEC. I mean, think about Georgia and Kentucky, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia, we talked about them last week. I thought Auburn would give them their all, and they did. I mean, and if Brock Bowers isn't playing, tell me who's making plays for Georgia.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And Carson Beck is not accurate. He's not been all that. I mean, I know he's a ballyhooed talent that has been waiting for this opportunity to be the quarterback, but he's not playing at the level of his predecessor. And I don't see the running game or the wide receiving core that I saw a year ago. I think Georgia is very susceptible to a loss to Kentucky. Kentucky did last week, when you think about it, they answered the bell in a way that makes you believe that they really belong. And I know last week when I probably told you Kentucky's going to win that game against Florida, a lot of your listeners were like, Brando, you just hate it. No. Kentucky's that much better than Florida, okay? And if they're that much better than Florida, I think they can stay on the same field with Georgia. I'm not going to say they win the game, but they'll certainly cover. And I think that they'll make Georgia win ugly, which Georgia, because of its depth of talent, and they got more than anybody, I'll be the first to concede that, over time, late in the game, when they've got their third-line offensive linemen out there, and they're still playing at a very high level, they can wear a defense down. And that may happen to Kentucky, and ultimately Georgia wins, but I think it'll be a very competitive game.
It just doesn't feel like the SEC, like this is classic SEC.
No.
It's not top-heavy. It feels like anyone can knock off anyone on any given Saturday. You're right, that Auburn game was phenomenal. And Carson Beck in Georgia, they got their first road win, did Carson Beck. But, man, and we talked about it last week, they don't have their classic running attack. They don't have their classic wide receivers. And you look at a guy like Ray Davis. I mean, I remember Ray Davies, the former lead singer of the Kinks, but Ray Davis, who came over from Vanderbilt, I mean, they put up 325 yards rushing against the Gators. Tim, this also feels like this isn't a classic Georgia defensive line with all these first-round picks that are getting ready to go into the NFL. Can Kentucky run the ball at Georgia?
I think they can, yes. I think they can, well enough to be in the game. And here's the other thing about Kentucky. I think everybody thought when Levis was gone, that they would not have the explosive play capability. Davis is one of them that can give them that. And the quarterback, man, that guy's a slinger. I like him. I mean, he kind of just showed up and is showing out. I mean, I don't think we should overlook what that kid has been doing for the Kentucky offense. Now, as I said, I'm not willing to pick them to win the game, but I think they can cover. But I am willing to pick A&M to beat Alabama. Just mark it down. Alabama goes down to A&M this weekend at College Station. Jalen Milroe, with his first real start in a real SEC, College Station 12th man environment, I think that they're in trouble. I think they're in trouble with a capital T in this game. A&M is getting their traction now. The Jimbo passing of the torch, the Bobby Petrino offensively is there, and I don't know that Alabama's defensive line can get the same pass rush against the A&M offensive line that they did against Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss they cratered their offensive line did. A&M's got a good offensive line. And I think that the combination of the A&M offensive line and the A&M defensive line, in my opinion, which will hold up well against Alabama's offensive line, I think that's going to be the difference. Tommy Rees can orchestrate now some more run option pass into Jalen Milroe's game, and that's fine. But, Rick, we're still talking about a one-dimensional offense. He can't throw it out of the pocket. They can't run the offense that Tommy Rees wanted to run when he came. And they now know that, and they're changing their offense to allow Milroe more opportunities to beat you with his legs. All A&M's got to do is bracket him and make sure that he has to win with his arm, not his leg. And if they force him to throw, there are 2 or 3 interceptions waiting to happen.
Yeah.
To tilt that game in A&M's favor. So I like A&M straight up.
And, Max Johnson's played in big games. The left-hander, obviously.
They got the right quarterback now, exactly.
Right? At LSU.
It's a guy that came to Florida and won as a freshman.
Yep.
It's a guy that pulled out a win late against A&M, Orgeron's last game before he transferred to A&M. Max Johnson is just the right guy to distribute the ball. He's not as athletic as the other quarterback, but he's a distributor.
Yeah.
And he plays within himself. I mean, son of a great player that knows how to play the position. And Petrino, I think, is really enjoying working with him because he's one of those guys that old school, you can't give him too much to learn. He's willing to learn.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was reading about this earlier in the week. You talk about high-profile offensive coordinator position changes from school to school. Tommy Rees, you just documented that at Bama. Garrett Riley at Clemson. You look at Bobby Petrino, man, 36.8 points a game with two different quarterbacks. Texas A&M last year under Jimbo, Timmy, only scored 30-plus in 2 games. They've already done that this year in 4 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, they may be the team. And let me just say this. As bad as LSU's defense looked at Ole Miss, they need to rename DBU, CTU, can't tackle you, because they were running away from receivers, as it looked like late in that game against the Rebels. But you know this about LSU. They are capable of coming right back and beating Missouri. And if they do, I mean, could they run the table? Maybe. Yeah. They could. I mean, the West is wide open. It's absolutely wide open. I do think Missouri will be proven to be a pretender rather than a contender in the game with LSU. I think the Tigers bounce back.
Brother Bino has informed me that that's where he's going to be this weekend. He will be at Texas A&M. For the second consecutive time there, can they knock off the favored Alabama?
It's unbelievable. If Jackie Sherrill, the 12th man, you think about it, for all the years of A&M and all their majesty, they've never won it all. A&M has never won it all. If they're ever going to win it all, what do you got to? You got to beat Alabama, and I think they do that. And then if you win the West, you go to the SEC title. Yeah, you got an ugly loss, but what you got to? I think the 12th man gets it done. A&M wins the game outright.
I think in like 1936, Lenny's bait and tackle shop handed them a national championship. So I think they have like one way back then.
That'd be the same group that gave Alabama about 5.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you nailed it once again. You called straight up, even as a 14-point dog. Those Mountaineers, you called last week's fly in the ointment. What do you got this weekend?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the game right here. But I can't pick it. I can't pick Fresno State and Wyoming because I'm calling the game, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm tilting one way or the other. Just can't go there. But you know what? I can look out there and see another game that's really being overlooked because the teams involved, just for whatever reason, people don't believe in, and this is certainly true with a lot of the college football teams that are outside the Power Five. Listen, my Warhawks took it on the chin at the buzzer last week, okay? They lost to App State on a 54-yard field goal at the buzzer. Terry Bowden fell to 2-2. Now they got to come back, and they got to find their way and get the job done against South Alabama. South Alabama is really good, Rick. They are really good. A lot of people thought that they would beat Tulane to start the year, and they didn't do it. But I think South Alabama runs into a Warhawks roadblock at Malone Stadium in Funroe. I'm going to go back to my alma mater and take the Warhawks to upset the Jaguars in the Sun Belt. In the Fun Belt, Terry Bowden's team bounces back.
There you have it. They're an 11-point dog. We'll see what happens. South Alabama visits UL Monroe. Going to be a lot of fun. Hey, have a great call out there in Wyoming. They'll play host to Fresno State. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, Jacksonville time on Fox. Timmy B, always a pleasure. We'll do it again next week. Thank you.
You got it. I'll have a double dip next week. I'm doing a game Thursday with West Virginia, Houston. And on Saturday, back out to the Pac-12 after dark. Oregon State, UCLA. So a couple of them next week.
Ooh, yes, Pac-12 after dark. Outstanding. Thanks, Tim.
You got it, Rick.
There he goes. Tim Brando. Wow. Calling out Georgia for a second consecutive week. A&M to knock off Bama? Really? The left-hander, Max Johnson, the son of Brad? Am I wrong about this? I mean, listen, I picked LSU to win the national title. I picked Florida State to beat them, but I thought they'd win the national title. That game was so entertaining the other night against Mississippi. But it just doesn't feel like a classic year so far in the SEC. Georgia has nothing to apologize for. But this Georgia team could not compete with last year's Georgia team or the team who won it 2 years ago. Now, that's my opinion. They're not running the ball the way they should. They don't have a go-to wide receiver. They have the best tight end in America. Okay, but what Georgia has going for them is they have a terrible schedule, very soft schedule. And yes, I realize that Oklahoma was supposed to play them. That's no longer happening. All right, comments, 641-1010 on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs, gutters, sun tubes, skylights as well. Give my buddy Mark Tizzolo a call, 982-4052. Financing is available, 10-year workmanship warranty, license and insured, and you do work directly with Mark and his folks, no subcontractors. So that's Patriot Roofing. Again, you can check them out online as well at Patriot Roofing. When we do return, much more on the college game. Want to get back to the Jaguars and the Bills and get things set for us in the National Football League. In about an hour from right now, Rafael Esparza will join us live from Las Vegas. We'll check the money. I was yelling about 20 minutes ago how it was a 2-point line, Alabama at A&M. Well, I see that has now shifted. It is a 1-point line. So we're getting some Texas A&M money. This is basically a pick'em at Texas A&M coming up at 3:30 on Saturday. Much more to do. Good to have you with us alongside J.J. LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play on Bishop Kenny football.
This is Coach Krause of the Bishop Kenny Crusaders. We're back on the road on Friday night at Ponte Vedra. You can listen live on 92.5 FM.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Yo, it's your main man ET. And if you're a veteran or a rookie, you can bet with MyBookie. We're in full swing right now for football season, so check the updated lines at MyBookie.com and get your bets in to win straight cash, homie. Make sure you take advantage of the brand new cash out system, give you more options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the bread on another bet. Or let that thing ride out for a chance at a bigger bag. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with odds boosts, free bets, and super contests. This is the best time of the year to get in on the action. So start the football season right now as a winner. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for a free account. Just use promo code 1010XL to grab that welcome bonus on the house. Again, that promo code is 1010XL.com to claim your deposit bonus. And for a limited time, get you a free chip to use at the MyBookie Casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
Hey, do you like beer?
Yeah!
What about great food and lederhosen? Then you're going to love the 4th Annual Oktoberfest at Kingmaker Brewing in Riverside. Sponsored by 1-to-1 Financial Credit Union. Kingmaker has the only Oktoberfest in Jacksonville that spans 2 whole weekends.
Fine.
September 28th to October 8th. That's 10 days of good food, great beer, and amazing local businesses. Learn more or grab VIP tickets at kingmakerbrewing.com. Oktoberfest, September 28th to October 8th. Kingmaker in Riverside. Brought to you by Jacksonville's hometown credit union, 1-to-1 Financial. Dunk it.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 5th, 1986, Rams running back Eric Dickerson runs for an NFL overtime record 42-yard touchdown as LA beats Tampa 26-20.
Introducing the latest menu addition at your neighborhood Woody's Barbecue. Now you can get fried chicken and fried pork. Whoa, Nelly!
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
Hey Jacksonville, this is 17-time PGA Tour winner Jim Furyk inviting you to join me and the legends of the PGA Tour for the 3rd annual Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K, October 2 through 8 at Timaquana Country Club. Public parking is free, along with complimentary tournament access for our military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Go to Ticketmaster to get your tickets today, and if you're not traveling to London, but watch the Jags this fall, join us Sunday morning in the Publix Tailgate Village to catch the game on the big screen. For more information, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
Have you been thinking about selling your home and just think it's not the right time? You just see a lot of problems out there with getting it done? Let me send you to the problem solvers. That's Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. If you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how, Chad and Sandy are. Chad and Sandy go this far and make you this guarantee. They will sell your home or they will buy it. Carl and Diana in Argyle in Orange Park said, our dream was selling our home so we could travel full-time in our RV. We just had to sell our home for a big price to have the cash to do it right. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, hired them, and sold in 10 days at the highest sales price in the neighborhood. It's time to hit the road in style. And when it comes time to sell your home, sell it in style with Chad and Sandy. Go to chadandsandy.com right now and find out more. Or, as always, you can reach them via the phone lines at 904-414-6200. They are the agents we recommend. They're chadandsandy.com.
Mike Dempsey here for Underdog Fantasy's Pick'em Fantasy game, a super fun way to play along as you watch your favorite players. The way it works, you pick higher or lower on 2 to 5 player stats, then watch to see if your picks hit. It's that easy. If you haven't tried out Pick'em, now's the perfect time. Football season's back, and to celebrate, Underdog announced their newest special that will be running all season long. It's called 100K Sundays. Every Sunday, Underdog's going to be giving $10,000 in cold hard cash to 10 winners who play Pick'em. You can take your chance by playing along every Sunday. 1 entry equals 1 ticket. Will you be one of the winners? Find out by making your picks this football season. In total, they're going to be giving away $2 million. That's a real number. $2 million just to people who are making picks. Try it out today by downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. You must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, got a couple of people here on the text line asking me why Texas was able to play Alabama, but they canceled the Oklahoma-Georgia matchup. And I believe this was year 2 of Alabama-Texas because Bama just barely won, I think it was 29-28 a year ago. And this would have been the first matchup between Oklahoma and Georgia.
Yeah, it was going to be a home and home. So Texas and Alabama got it out of the way in time. They both had their home game. This would have screwed one of the teams. I don't know which one was supposed to be the away team, but it would have screwed them. But we have seen in the ACC where they had a mix-up with the – I don't remember the specifics, but we had a couple of times where, North Carolina played Pitt in a non-conference game last year. It's not unheard of.
I think Wake Forest plays Duke every year in a non-conference game. I think so. I do.
Because they're out of their different divisions maybe or something like that.
Georgia's going to have to deal with that. They're and it's, the East is down, and it's they're going to be – not a lot of people are aware of the Oklahoma situation, and they're going to get criticized for having a soft schedule. Again, as I've said already, I think twice tonight, they don't have to apologize to anyone. Just go out and win these games, and I still think there's plenty of street cred. They could lose a game and still get in because they're a 2-time defending national title, but it amazes me how some people react when it comes to non-conference opponents. I'm on this Florida State text string or chain or whatever the heck you call it, and people last night are celebrating the LSU loss, and I'm like, what are you, stupid? I'm like, you need LSU. You want LSU losing that game to Mississippi? You want LSU to win all these games. So, all of a sudden you look at these great losses or these great victories that Florida State has, and it's like, oh, well, they knocked off, a Clemson team. Clemson's not even ranked. Oh, they knocked off LSU. LSU's now ranked, 23rd in the nation. Wouldn't it be better if Clemson was ranked in the top 10 and if LSU was ranked in the top 7 or top 5? But I don't know. I'll never figure out anyone's way of thinking when it comes to that. And a school like Florida State has no room for error. They're going to have to win every game. And we don't even know, once the official college football playoff poll comes in, if they'll be in the top 4. You still have 22 undefeated teams in college football. So certainly, that is something that you have to look at until we expand to the 12 teams. Sad news. Dick Butkus has just passed. Wow. Outside of Joe Namath, and you know my opinion on Joe Namath, I don't even think he should be a Hall of Famer. Look at his overall win-loss record. Look at his overall touchdown to interception record. The only reason why Joe Namath is in the Super Bowl is because he played in New York and he guaranteed a win as a big-time dog. When Radio Row used to really be something on sports talk radio, I just don't think it has the same flair now that it used to, because everyone's pimping a product. And you bring them on the air, and half the time they're talking about why they, love Reese's peanut butter cups and whatever it may be. But when Butkus walked in, it wasn't like the Beatles, but it was almost like a president, or it was almost like a country's leader. The amount of respect that this man just garnered was phenomenal. And I spent 7 years in Chicago, and he was not a guy that was an attention seeker, okay? I've always found it hard to believe that the years that I spent in Chicago, that nothing will ever be bigger than Mike Ditka. I was always under the assumption, even though Chicago has never been a basketball town, that Michael Jordan would be number one. He's not. It's a Ditka town. And if anyone tells you differently, they're wrong. Dick Butkus was kind of a guy who just removed himself after his playing days and is considered arguably one of the greatest defensive players of all time. We remember him with the Miller Lite commercials. That's probably the only thing that he did. I'm trying to think if Dick did maybe something in the way of acting or something along those lines after his career. But he honestly wasn't as visible as I thought he would be in that city compared to a lot of other, former Bears alumni. Obviously, I never saw him outside of the videos. The one video I love is I think it's on a botched either PAT or a field goal where he picks it up and throws. Actually, he either throws the touchdown pass or the touchdown pass is thrown. I think he throws the touchdown pass. But he was a hitter. And here's the thing. The way that Dick Butkus played then, he would not be able to play even close to that style now. Can you imagine the targeting and the type of stuff that he would have been a part of? He was really the gold standard for middle linebackers and arguably the greatest middle linebacker of all time. Jack Lambert, a decade later, had a lot of that in Pittsburgh, but he was surrounded by great linebackers, right? He had Jack Ham. I'm trying to remember who the other linebacker was, playing behind L.C. Greenwood and Dwight White and Joe Green and the Steel Curtain defense. Ernie Holmes would have been in there as well. Anyway, it'll come to me. But regardless, this is a big blow. 80 years of age. So he's gone today. What a week. Tim Wakefield, Russ Francis, who I grew up idolizing as a tight end for the New England Patriots. He died in a plane crash. I think it was out in it was around the Buffalo area where that actually did take place. And now today it's Dick Butkus at the age of 80.
I would recommend everyone bet the Bears tonight.
That's right. Chicago does play tonight. They've lost 14 in a row.
You can get them plus 5.5, I think.
14 in a row. Dick Butkus. I think he went to. I think he went to Illinois. You know, I want to say he's like Chicago through and through. Was born there. Went and played his college ball for the Fighting Illini. Went and played his professional career only with the Chicago Bears. It's pretty rare to find an athlete of that stature who was born in a place, went to college in that place, and then played professionally in that place. Does anyone else come to mind who was able to do that? Maybe Tony Gwynn is one, right? Tony Gwynn was San Diego the whole way.
Yeah.
Believe he was born there, played at San Diego State, and played for the Padres. But outside of that, in Dick Butkus, I'm trying to remember. I'm sure there's others that are out there. But
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. You know, two-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 69 and 70. He was part of the NFL's all-decade team in the 60s and 70s.
Jesus.
He came in 65. So a half a decade there, and then he played 70, 71, 72, and 73. So 4 years in the 70s. He was that good. He was that dominant. And that's what I remember with Dick Butkus. There's certain guys who walk in who just grab the room. Deacon Jones, I'm trying to remember where we saw him. Might have been Miami or Phoenix or whatever. But Deacon Jones was one of those. Joe Namath, absolutely. Dick Butkus is a number one. I don't even know if anyone else compares. I mean, Joe Montana didn't compare. Dan Marino didn't compare. Barry Sanders doesn't compare. I'm just trying to think anyone else that these were like the head turners, if you will, of former Hall of Famers. Anyway,
phenomenal name to like a name that fits the, just the middle linebacker persona perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Butkus.
I'm just reading here. He was the youngest of 8 children.
See, the young ones, they always turn out the most, they always become either the richest or the most powerful or the best football players. That's how it works.
So he grew up in a tough neighborhood in the South Side. It says there he was a very large baby, 13 pounds, 6 ounces. That was like twice the size of me when I was born.
God bless her.
Dick Butkus. Gone at the age of 80. All right, we got much more to do. Let's get ready for hour number 2. 641-1010 if you want to get on in on the text line. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
When it comes to the Jags, he's oh so good.
Oh, yes.
His name is John Osher.
Oh, snap.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Everyone's broken a phone, but not just anybody can fix one. Don't trust your phone to a fly-by-night shop. And don't try to fix it yourself. Let the experts at Batteries Plus keep you connected by replacing your screen, repairing your phone, or replacing the battery for you. Walk in anytime or make an appointment at batteriesplus.com and save $10. Trust the experts at Batteries Plus.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Are you afraid to buy your next car? Well, have no fear because Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet offer Beaver's not-so-scary pricing. There's no monsters popping up in your rearview mirror with Beaver's peace of mind warranties. Check out thousands of vehicles for sale online and get answers to all your questions with no tricks and all the treats. I promise our team will take away all those fears. Just come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville for Beaver's not-so-scary pricing.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, Jeff, all I need you to say is, hi, I'm Jeff Lagerman, and me and everybody I played professional football with thinks Shark Coatings is the best.
I'm not going to do that.
You can't, what will you say?
Well, I mean, look, the floor is durable, it's easy to clean, it looks fantastic. It's the second time I've used it. What more do I need to say?
I mean, that works too, I guess.
Okay. Can you step off the ladder?
No one's going to know.
Trust me, they'll know. You're not as tall as I. Thanks.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 2nd.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us. But for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks. But I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners. Always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline for MyBookie. If you're a veteran or rookie, you can bet with MyBookie. We're in full swing now for football, so check the updated lines at mybookie.ag and get your bets in to win real cash. Make sure you take advantage of their brand new cash-out system, giving you more options to bet and win all season long. If the first two legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with odds boosts, free bets, and super contests. This is the best time of the year to get your bets in and start the football season off with some winners. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for a free account. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Arthritis is the most common cause of joint pain in America and affects more than 50 million adults. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. For reliable diagnosis and comprehensive treatment options, come see me and the specialists at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. With more than 35 years of experience in orthopedics, our team delivers compassionate and dedicated care to relieve your pain. Set up a visit today by scheduling online or calling the office. Log on to barryorthopedics.com with locations across Jacksonville.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Thursday night football. Again, day 2 of 50 straight days of football for fans of all shapes, all sizes. You get it night after night after night. Tonight, the Bears, on the heels of the passing of Dick Butkus at the age of 80. He has just passed, And, of course, Chicago tonight trying to win out in D.C. Again, they've lost 14 in a row. There are reports out that if the Bears lose tonight, that could be it for Matt Eberflus. So we'll see. He's lost 18 of his last 21. Around here, it's obviously more about the Jaguars and the 9:30 kick, a second consecutive game over in London. Getting a lot of good stuff from you on the text line. The 6971 says, Ballou, you keep bemoaning. And that's a great word. It's one that I don't think I use often. But let me tell you something right now, 6971. I'm going to start putting that into my repertoire. And maybe instead of using the word bemoan or bemoaning, I'll just say 6971. Right? That may sound better. But, Ballou, you keep bemoaning the Jags don't stand a chance against the Bills. Do you think Buffalo is much better than Kansas City? Lost by one score. The spread is 2.5 points. Jacksonville did lose by one score to Kansas City. Jacksonville was also a victim of some really poor coaching in that game, something that is not said often with the Doug Peterson staff. Instead, it's been the other way around, raving about the job they have done, but particularly on the offensive line, not giving help to Anton Harrison against Chris Jones. 2.5, it's 5.5, unless I know it's 5.5, unless you're making a point on something else here. But anyway, yeah, Buffalo is a 5.5 point favorite, and if I was a betting man, I would take them to win this game and to cover the point spread. I just think they're a better football team. Now, I also feel this way. They're going to bottom out. Buffalo has done that recently. If you were to flash back in the time a year ago, and it was more last year than this year, and there's only 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL, as we know, San Francisco and Philadelphia, but it felt like last year at this time, Buffalo was, without any doubt, the team that many believed were going to go ahead and win the Super Bowl, and that Josh Allen was going to win the Lombardi. I don't believe over the long season of 17 games, and once they get into the playoffs, that Buffalo is going to win the Super Bowl. Will they make the AFC Championship game? Who knows? But to win it all, I say no. And unfortunately for them, they're now starting to get hit with injuries. And to me, there's 2 ways that Jacksonville wins this game. Number 1 is them staying in London. All right? Buffalo practiced today in Buffalo. They're on their way to London, or they've already landed in London. I don't know. Okay, it's shorter from Buffalo than it is from here in Jacksonville. But that does take a few days to get accustomed to the time change over there and jet lag and everything else. Jacksonville has that in their system. They've been there from a week ago Thursday. So they're absolutely acclimated to what is going on there. What concerns Buffalo right now is this high-powered defense that's only given up 13.8 points a game. And remember, Buffalo now has won 3 consecutive games by an average of 30 points. It's 123-33. That's silly. Those are college football numbers. That is not supposed to happen in the National Football League, and that is what they have done the last 3 weeks. But defensively, yeah, we know Trey White is out, okay, and Achilles. He's their top corner. Right now, their top corner is Christian Benford on the other side, a 6th-round pick from a year ago. Okay, he's got a shoulder, and he was limited today. He was limited yesterday. It's going to be Dane Jackson who replaces Tre'Davious White. Jackson does have experience. He played 14 games as a starter a year ago. If Benford can't go, it's Kaiir Elam who's going to, in fact, get the start. They're also nicked up at safety. Jordan Poyer did not play against Miami last week. He's been limited. As a matter of fact, let me see again. Poyer, I believe, was upgraded today. He was. All right, so Poyer was limited on Wednesday. He is upgraded today until full, one of their pass rushers, Gregory Rousseau. He's a Cane, right? Rousseau? I remember
Absolutely.
him from the U, no doubt. He's got a foot, and he's been a DMP now on consecutive days. They got Shaq Lawson as a backup. They went out and they brought in Leonard Floyd, a guy that we talked about an awful lot, about bringing in, a veteran presence on that defensive line. They're real stout inside. The unsung hero there is Daquan Jones. I think he's second in the NFL, behind only Aaron Donald when it comes to pass win rate for a defensive tackle. And, of course, you got Ed Oliver there. It's a real solid defense. Matt Milano is an absolute – he's pretty close to a Loicon when it comes to tackles with Matt Milano. So it's a really good team. I think they're better. There's no other way for me to say it. I think they have a better offensive line. Right now, the receivers are playing better. Right now, the running attack or rushing attack is better. Right now, the quarterback play is better. And obviously, on defense, it's better. So, there you go. I just think Buffalo is the better team. We'll see. And the one thing that I can't get through is the Jaguars' offensive line, 29th in pass block win rate. And your best overall offensive lineman and left tackle Walker Little, you're now going to ask to play another position at left guard. And hopefully Cam is there and he's got his sea legs and he's ready to go. We will see. Von Miller, didn't even mention him. Okay, you think he can help out against a 29th ranked offensive line in the pass block win rate? Von Miller practicing today. He's telling people that he is going to play against Jacksonville on Sunday. So, yeah. Von Miller and Leonard Floyd, a couple of veterans, getting after the quarterback this weekend, even if Gregory Rousseau is unable to give it a go. All right, we got much more to do. My buddy Danny Van Sickle has just dropped in, so we'll talk with him. He is with the Electrical Training Alliance, talk some Jaguars, talk some Florida State football as well. Rafael Esparza is standing by. We're going to check the money. Live from Las Vegas, he is with MyBookie and MyBookie.org. He joins us in about 20 minutes.
Get maximum football with Pregame Friday.
Isn't this exciting?
Make Friday feel like the weekend.
Come on, son! Yeah!
Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle. And MyBookie.
Now go out there and catch the ball for a change.
On 1010XL.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
TVs everywhere to watch sports, delicious food, drinks, league play nearly every night for billiards and poker, award-winning gumbo. 9-Ball Heaven is the place to be off University Boulevard with all this and more. An upscale, non-smoking sports bar and billiards hall. The place to watch the game and shoot pool with your friends. 9-Ball Heaven also offers private parties, a private bar, and catering. 9-Ball Heaven, where the players play.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
The age of light beer is here. Modelo Oro, treasured for its smooth, elevated taste and crisp, clean finish. 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. It's the gold standard of light beer.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On XL Primetime from noon to 3, on Helmets and Heels Tuesday nights.
I swear to you, I know her.
And you can follow me on the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years.
Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
Can you say vacuum sealed marinated meats? Head to Southern Steer Butcher. Hey, if you're out at the Furyk and Friends this weekend, make sure you stop by when you're done.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Join us at Daly's Place, Tuesday, October 10th, for Faith, Family, and Football, a Hall of Fame evening with Tony Dungy and Tony Baselli. These Pro Football Hall of Famers share the stage for an evening of uplifting, faith-based conversation you won't want to miss. Your purchase includes admission to this event and a ticket to the Colts-Jaguars game on October 15th. Visit jaguars.com/faithfamilyfootball to be a part of this special night.
Summer is ending, and the chill of fall is just around the corner. Is your heating system ready to conquer the upcoming cold nights and frosty mornings? Duck Air Conditioning is here to keep you warm and toasty.
Don't let winter sneak up on you. We're offering a system checkup for only $79 to ensure your heating system is tip-top for the colder days ahead.
Call Duck Air Conditioning at 904-862-6769 to schedule a checkup. Duck Air Conditioning, your trusted feathered friend in home comfort. 904-862-6769.
Coming Saturday, October 21st, Bethune-Cookman football returns to Jacksonville at Everbank Stadium. BCU versus Southern. Get your tickets to see them BC Wildcats host Southern University in their first matchup since 2006, with a special halftime performance from the Marching Wildcats and the SU Human Jukebox. Tickets are on sale now. BCU versus Southern, October 21st at Everbank Stadium. Info at jacksevents.com.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Hicken here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's good to have you with us, with you tonight till 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, 3 to 6 on the AM. All right, that's the radio station, 1010, as well as the app, which you can get 3 to 6. A lot of good stuff coming up on Friday. Get ready for high school football. So, again, that's the AM only. My buddy Danny Van Sickle is here with the Electrical Training Alliance. Good to have you come on by. How you been?
I've been good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate the shirt.
Yes.
I like it. A nice teal color.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hometown pride.
Yeah, love it. You guys always are great with the gifts. The jacket, the shirt, the clipboard. I tell you, I don't ever want to have to use it again, But the masks that you used to have during COVID.
That's right.
On all the masks I had, I thought yours were the best.
Yeah, and we have our logo on everything. So it's like all of our students to get a free T-shirt as being our student.
Yeah.
And I just tell them, I said, man, just wear the shirt. Don't put it in the drawer. Don't put it up in the closet. Wear it when you go to the grocery store. Yeah. Advertise for us and tell everybody about the ETA.
It's been a couple of weeks since we've spoken. What did you make about the dismantling here with Houston, but then the ability to turn things around last week and get a W for the Jaguars against the Falcons?
The Houston loss reminded me a lot of the Detroit loss last year, just one you didn't see coming and one that wasn't close at all. Surprised about how good C.J. Stroud was. For some reason, when I think about Ohio State quarterbacks, I think about Dwayne Haskins. I think about Carnell Jones. I think about Justin Fields now. I figure C.J. Stroud would be in that same boat. He looked really good. I think we're going to have many years in this division having to worry about him. I think he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, last week against Atlanta, good bounce back for him. Obviously, that game 1 in London.
Yeah, and I was just hoping that they would just get a split coming out of it. I really did. But now they got a realistic chance. I know Buffalo is good, and if you look at all their stats on paper, they're significantly better. But you know what? This is the NFL, and this is a game. Listen, I think they put a lot of energy into last week's game, and they pulled it out whenever a lot of people were picking them to lose last week, and now they use a lot of energy in that game. They're flying across the pond. Their routine is going to be different. Time change is going to be different. Jacksonville has been in London now for almost 2 weeks. I'm hoping those little things will give Jacksonville an advantage.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that, 4 games in, the defense is playing better than the offense. And this Jaguars has only scored 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games. It's almost unbelievable to really consider that is what has happened.
Yeah, the opening game, when I saw the offensive line play, I kind of had a bad feeling. I was like, you know what? They're just getting blown off of the ball, and even with some good skill receivers. Calvin Rack really actually had a good game the first game.
Yeah.
But it don't matter how good the receivers are. If Trevor doesn't have time to throw, he's not going to be able to get the ball to him. And the offensive line got blown off the ball that first game, and this wasn't like week 15 when they're tired and hurt. I mean, this was week 1. So I remember watching that game, and I was like, ugh, man, I hope they can make some changes. They got 4 weeks till Cam comes back. What's Cam's mindset going to be when he gets back? So I'm hoping that he's going to come back this week, and I'm hoping you see some significant progress on there. But they got to get better along that line.
Yeah, and, 2 weeks ago, some were making the point that maybe Walker Little goes to the right side to replace Anton Harrison after that game against Kansas City. He has improved in the last 2 weeks. The numbers don't necessarily support it, but he did not give up a pressure in 36 dropbacks this past Sunday. So we know he's entrenched. It looks like Little's going to slide down one spot to left guard. This is quite a task. Buffalo has one of the best defenses in the NFL when it comes to doing everything, including rushing the passer.
Yeah, and they've also got a really good secondary, so it ain't like you could just concentrate on trying to get through stunts and get around the line. Jaguars have not rushed this year like we thought they were going to rush to. ETN has not had the kind of year that we thought he was going to have. Part of that is because of the line. You can't get holes, can't blow people off of the ball. I think the coaching staff this week is going to have to earn their money. I think that they're going to have to look at all the game film, and they're going to have to figure out, what can we do about this?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what does take place. Again, Buffalo, a 5.5-point favorite against the Jaguars. We'll have it for you. All the pregame beginning at 6:30. Game starts at 9:30. And, of course, the postgame that follows. Danny Van Sickle, one of my buddies who has dropped by from the electrical training the Electrical Training Alliance, which I'm going to ask you about here in just a couple of seconds. How do you beat Buffalo Sunday?
I think you come out throwing, man. I think, listen, you're probably not going to run on them. I think you throw, even give up a couple of 3 and outs. Mm-hmm. That they're going to be rushing the pass hard. You throw it and you make those linebackers think that they're more likely to get the ball in the air than they are to run it at us. Hope that they make some mistakes. Hope they start drifting back in coverage a little bit, maybe letting their eyes wander instead of looking at that running back, maybe looking at that wide receiver, catch them off guard, and then maybe if you can bust out a couple of draws. Listen, you're not going to line up an eye on get them. I just don't think so. couple of draws, a couple of maybe wheel routes, a couple of just little maybe 5 to 6 yard completions coming out the backfield to kind of keep the chains moving on top of it. I think that's going to be the game plan.
Yeah, a lot of people will tell you that this team can be run on. They allow 6.3 a carry, which is number one in the NFL. The flip side is they have had the fewest amount of rushing attempts. So who knows? Maybe this is a game that Jacksonville can be balanced and have 30-plus carries to knock off the Buffalo Bills. All right, Saturday, I'm heading over to God's country. Got my dad and my brother coming in tomorrow. We're going to get up first thing and make our way. For starters, the bye came a little early for me. I would have liked to have seen, maybe another 2 weeks or so before they got it, but you can't change the schedule makers. I guess the flip side to that, Danny, is that they're getting healthy, and that includes Jordan Travis.
Well, and it also includes Akeem Dent. Whenever I looked at the schedule, I'm like you. I thought, listen, by September, we really want that later on year to heal up. But Travis obviously was not his normal self. He didn't pull off those runs. I saw there was several lanes he could have very easily run and got, not busted out, 30-yard runs, but he could have got 12, 15-yard runs, and he didn't. He pulled it back and tried to make a little pass out of it. I don't think he was playing 100%. Obviously, Dent wasn't there. Problems along the offensive line. I think that the bye came at a great time, actually. It's going to give them a chance to get healed up and to really hit this stretch. Before the season, I predicted that they would lose between 1 to 2 games. And I figured one of those games would come between Clemson and LSU. And then I figured the other game would come between later on in the year, like Miami. And then FSU is always liable to lose a game that they shouldn't. So I figured maybe a Wake would go in there. Well, you know what? So far, mission accomplished. They took care of Clemson. They took care of LSU. I still think that it's possible they could lose 1 or 2 more games. Mm-hmm. The schedule sets up nice. If they take care of business at home, their road games are going to be a lot easier for them. They do get Miami at home. They do have to play Florida on the road. I think by the time they play Florida's not going to have nothing really to play for except for beating FSU, and that makes them a very dangerous game. The problem with FSU is this. They have very slow starts. They just do. Their defense and their defensive staff seem to make great adjustments in halftime, and they're able to play much better the second half. Clemson showed that. And if you can get ahead on some teams, then that will work out for you. Or if you can stay even with them. They were only down by 3 to LSU, only down by 7 to Clemson. But they're going to keep on, and they're going to end up being down at the half by a 17 or a 20 spot. And then your game plan goes out the window because no matter how good that defensive plays in the second half, the other team is going to know that you're going to have to throw to get on above them, and that's not going to bode well for them. They got to figure out a way to get off the ball quicker and to start off the games a lot better than what they're doing now.
Yeah, out of Power 5 teams, they're the only one in America who has only had one home game during the month of September. Obviously, they played in Orlando and had one home game. They were on the road for consecutive weeks in Boston and in Clemson. So now they get 3 in a row. Again, the schedule's whacked, but you get 3 straight. They're going to be heavily favored now, especially with Riley Leonard, that high ankle sprain. We'll see what happens in 3 weeks. But how concerned are you? A 24-point favorite here against Vatech. I imagine the line's going to be similar next week against Syracuse. These are games where you look at on paper, you think easy win, easy win, easy win. Where are you with the confidence?
I don't think easy win. Now I think they will win the game. They clearly are better. I don't think they're 24, 28 points better. Absolutely not. They haven't shown me that this year. They are an explosive team. I don't think they have played a complete game yet. So if you're trying to be half glass full person, you know what? You want to play your complete games against your really good teams. You got Miami. You got Duke, who looks a lot better than what you thought was going to be earlier in the year. Syracuse just lost their first game last week. So that's a glass half full way of looking at it. But no, they haven't established themselves where they get up and really put their foot on another team's throat. And that is what they're going to have to do, because one of these days, that Boston College game is there's going to be a team. They're not going to commit a penalty on the last play of the game. They're going to drive downfield, and it's going to be a North Carolina field goal as the time expires. Miami Miami is significantly better than what they were last year. They're playing with confidence too. So the more that they win, the better they're even going to be as they go through. They got some athletes down there. It does help being in Tallahassee, but you know what? They were in Tallahassee 2 years ago. Florida State got up on them, I think, by 3 touchdowns. Miami scored 3 unanswered touchdowns in the second half to actually take the lead on FSU before they ended up winning. So the FSU is not in a place where they can breathe easy, not by a long shot.
Florida State has gone 10 consecutive games where they have scored 30-plus points. I know that that's somewhat odd for some when you consider what's going on here with their offense. Final thought with this. I'd really like to see a game where Trey Benson goes back to what he was doing through the Florida game. I mean, last year's Gator game went back and forth, but Trey Benson was a monster. Everyone remembers what Jordan Travis did. Benson really set up that game-winning touchdown, and he kind of, he went away against Oklahoma and hasn't had the year this year. So I'd love to be able to see that. And are we going to start to see more of these wide receivers get involved? It's been Coleman and Wilson jump balls. It seems like the other wide receivers have been absent, and they're going to have to make plays if they're going to be able to win these games.
Well, I will say this. I'm going to give them a little bit of forgiveness for the game against Clemson. Listen, those DBs Clemson had were really good. They are really good. Those are Sunday-type players that they had. They just had to scrap for whatever they could get against them, and they pretty much had to do the jump ball on that. They're going to get some wide receivers back. Portier's back. Winston Wright's going to be back this week. So I think that's going to kind of soften up a little bit. But back to your point you made before that, replay shows whenever Benson gets the ball, he's got clear lanes in front of him. And for some reason, he's not taking those lanes. He's bouncing to the left or bouncing to the right or meshing or something. And I don't know why. And I don't know maybe if he's trying just to hit home runs and bounce around the outside. I got to believe at some point the coaching staff is going to listen. If you don't start hitting these holes, we're going to get some more Rodney Hill. We're going to get more people in there that is going to do it. And it's a shame, too, because Benson, he looks apart, man. He looks like an NFL running back. He played like an NFL running back the second half of last year when he got healthy. You just alluded to it. I really thought going into this year, I thought he was going to be a workhorse. And then they would kind of spell him, maybe do some wheel routes, some draws with the other running backs. And it has not worked out that way.
It hasn't. You're right, though. When Nate Wiggins went out, they just exposed the incoming corner a couple of weeks ago at Clemson. I hope if Trey Benson does not get back to what he was, they're going to lose the game here, maybe 2. They have to be able to run the ball. He could be. I talked with some scouts when they were here practicing. One individual said he may be the second running back selected. He's not playing anywhere near that so far, so hopefully that changes for Trey Benson as soon as this Saturday at home against Virginia Tech. Tell us about the very latest. What's going on with the Electrical Training Alliance?
We started our fall classes about 3 weeks ago, so we're in full effect. The facility is slammed all 4 nights now. We have all of our classes coming. We had 70 first-year apprentices that started with us this past year. Our enrollment is up to around 360, 370 apprentices at the school. So it's fun times at the school. The summer's kind of nice. We only have 1 or 2 classes that go on during the summer. The majority of our students get the summer off. It's a nice break for me and my staff, because we put a lot of work in. But right there toward the end of the summer, I get to where I'm ready to have my students back. I'm ready to have the guys and girls walking around and talking with them and seeing how everything's going with them, and that's where we're at now. So we got full enrollment. We got everybody coming back. We are going to start a winter class in January. The deadline for that is November 2nd. We'll be interviewing in December, but you got to get that application in before November 2nd. And so we're getting geared up for that, looking at how many that we're going to take in there. And basically just getting our year set up.
As far as the application, where do the folks go?
Very easy, etajax.org. And a lot of people think they have to get into the apprenticeship before they start going to work for one of our companies. We can get you to work before you get into the apprenticeship while you're making that application. That classification is called CW, Construction Wireman. And we have a lot of people who do that and aren't quite sure if they even want to get into the apprenticeship. So we encourage them, become a CW, work out in the field for a couple months, see if this is something that you want to do, And then, of course, if you want to apply, go ahead and apply for the apprenticeship. So we got some immediate openings right now on our jobs for people that have no experience that want to go to work.
Wow. Wasn't aware of that. All right, men or women, whether you're, getting ready to get out of high school or you tried college, it didn't work, maybe you're a little bit older and you're just unhappy, you want a career change, kind of set the table. Tell them where they are and where they can be.
Just go to our website, etajax.org. You'll see an apply tab at the top. We just redesigned our website, by the way. It just went live yesterday. So our website is going to be a lot more accommodating. You can apply there to get in our apprenticeship. You can apply there to be that CW classification that I was talking about. We've got pictures there. We got links to our YouTube. You can learn more about us and kind of see what we are. And, of course, our phone number is listed there. You could always call. My email is on there. You can email me if you want more information. If you're a guidance counselor or a parent or maybe just an applicant that wants to know more about it, go to our website, fill out the contact form, contact me, and I'd be glad to get back with you.
And college costs a lot of money. The only money here is what? Books?
Books and course fees. That's it.
That's
and the year books, the year courses.
Yeah.
No tuition. We charge zero tuition to get into our school.
Unbelievable. Once again, the info, the brand new website.
etajax.org.
Good to see you, Danny.
You too, brother.
There he goes. Danny Van Sickle. Good buddy of mine. Of course, he is with the Electrical Training Alliance. Coming up next, we make our pilgrimage to... Actually, we're bringing him in. We're importing him from Las Vegas. We will talk with Rafael Esparza. MyBookie, mybookie.org. He is next.
It's back-to-back in Great Britain.
Calvin Ridley against his whole team.
The Jags look to turn out the lights on the high-powered Buffalo Bills.
Lights out, and that ought to do it.
Jaguars, Bills, all the way from the UK. Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1010XL.
And the Jags are going to win. The Jags are going to win.
Home of the Jaguars.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Introducing Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade. Developed with 200 milligrams of caffeine to help athletes focus the mind and power the body for athletic performance. Great flavors like strawberry watermelon, glacier freeze, cool blue, and tropical mango, all designed to ignite athletic performance. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Fast Twitch, official partner of the NFL and used by the pros. On-the-go energy from Gatorade.
I'm Taylor Dahl on your Gator Station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen for the Gator Report all year round.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. On the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Imagine your life without pain. Several months ago, I said yes to Yas, Dr. Mitchell Yas and the Yas method for pain elimination. He focuses not on symptoms, but on the real source of your pain, which is usually muscular imbalance or weakness. The Yas method uses personalized exercises that bring lasting relief. It's not therapy, it's transformation. Discover your path to pain-free living with Dr. Yas and the Yas method by calling 904-906-YASS and say yes to Yas.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience? Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars. Now, you can enjoy Brackish Vodka when you're downtown at Indochine with daily happy hours.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national power of Napa and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is locally owned and operated by a strict written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians you can trust. Find us at jacksnapaautocare.com. David Garrard Mondays on Jaguars Today are brought to you by JJ Auto and Clay County Transmission.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Rafael Esparza, he is our guest. MyBookie.org. Are those U2 prices come down yet?
No, and I think the 2.5 billion Spear is probably not going to get those prices down lower because it's like the talk of the town.
Yeah, I've listened on YouTube. It doesn't do it justice. Apparently, that Spear is ridiculous. I'm hoping they announce January dates because I got football going on right now, Rafael.
Well, if your team continues to struggle at certain times, maybe you can go maybe November or December.
All right, before we get into these games, I obviously you would mybookie.org, but also as well you have your own website, youcanbet.com. Who is the next Speaker of the House going to be?
Probably the favorite. I made Scalise the favorite before he announced today that he was going to run. I don't think anyone's going to probably beat him. I think I heard today that some of the Democrats were hoping he would run. So I think it's his to lose.
How popular? I mean, this is unprecedented. So how popular is betting on this right now?
Anything with the word P for politics is huge in betting. I'll be working a lot in the next couple of weeks with governor races, Senate races. As of when November kicks in, November, December, January, it's the politics is reigned. So we take more money on politics betting than we will on this weekend's NFL week.
Oh, really interesting. All right, Red River rivalry, Texas. Many believes the best team right now in college football. Oklahoma is well undefeated. How have things been at the window for this one?
A little good two-way action this one, which is shocking. Normally, each last couple of seasons has just been one-side action. A lot of two-way. The total has gone up, opened up at 59, 60.5. So I think the bettors think it's going to be a lot of points scored. And I'm still confused why this game has to be played at this time slot. This game should be prime time slot.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Alabama, Texas A&M. I guess some A&M money's come in as now it's Alabama virtually a pick 'em, maybe a 1-point favorite.
Yeah, and I would not be shocked if more A&M money. Let's face it, and you could probably agree that this has not been the best season for the SEC, and I think that's why a lot of dog money has come in on SEC play. So here's another one. I think A&M will probably get a big fair share of action tomorrow.
Haven't seen a lot of movement here with Buffalo. They're officially the home team in London against Jacksonville. We do know that Cam Robinson is returning as the left tackle for Jacksonville. The Bills are injured in their secondary, but it looks like Von Miller may return. What's the latest there?
It's 5.5, and I think the public is gonna bet the Bills because they're gonna remember. The public's gonna remember. Wow, Buffalo beat Miami. Miami scored 70, and Buffalo beat them. I'm waiting. If I can get 6.5, I'm gonna take the Jags, who are normally used to playing these games. They know how the schedule goes when you're overseas. In this one, I think they're going to be well prepared, and Buffalo may be still looking at the press clippings on what they did with Miami. I'm going to take it. I'm hoping for 6 or higher on this one because I'm going to jump on the Jags.
All right. Leave us with this, including the road teams 2-0, the home teams 2-0. Or I guess I said it wrong. They would have been 2-2 because 2 road teams did win. But my point is that in Major League Baseball, the wild card games all ended after 2 games. Was that good for the books or bad for the books?
It was a little bit good because now more people are concentrating on this horrible Thursday night football game than it would be baseball. So it's kind of good for us, more money coming in on football. But, yeah, it was weird. I think we cleaned up with Milwaukee going out early. Everyone was betting Arizona just because Milwaukee was at home. And then, of course, the Rays losing at home. So we really had a nice 2 days in baseball.
All right, Rafael Esparza, always a pleasure. You can check out his website, by the way. Go to youcanbetthat.com. But leave us with the latest here with MyBookie.
Yeah, busy weekend with college football. NHL drops a puck. I know you're excited for 5 more days to see NHL on the ice, so can't wait for that. That's 5 days. Football all the way up in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's not soccer. We're not going to see Tottenham play, but we'll see Buffalo and your Jags play. Great Sunday night game. Dallas and the best team in football, San Francisco. If McCaffrey should get MVP, and then snooze fest, Green Bay Whomps on Vegas. More cheeseheads in Vegas this weekend at the Death Star.
Thank you, Rafael. Have a great weekend.
Take it easy. Have a fantastic weekend.
Rafael Esparza.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
All right, those incentives are in across the street from Tinseltown, Southside, and Gate. Whether it's a GMC like my truck, the Sierra, or the GF's got the beautiful Buick Enclave. Check them out at Key. Today's takeaway, well, it's Dick Butkus. He is passed at the age of 80, the most feared linebacker probably in the history of the National Football League, and that's saying something, considering you can think of Jack Lambert and Ray Nitschke and Mike Singletary and Ray Lewis, and the list goes on and on and on. But Dick Butkus was the gold standard for linebackers. Born in Chicago, went to school at the University of Illinois, and, of course, played 14 years for the Chicago Bears, where he was an all-decade performer in the 60s and 70s. Think about that. That was how good Dick Butkus was, and he leaves us today at the age of 80.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the rubber on the road with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Chad Muma, Foye Oluwakan, maybe a little Dick Butkus in them coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dick Butkus, what you just said, absolutely. Now, my dad was one of the biggest Washington Redskin fans you'll ever find, and I grew up hearing about the Redskins and the Hogs and everything. But he would always tell me when he was a teenager how much he enjoyed watching Dick Butkus play the game. And really before Singletary, obviously, and Ray Lewis and Urlacher and all the great linebackers of this generation, it all goes back to Dick Butkus.
I think I might have said 13 years that he played.
Yeah, he only played 9.
Played 9?
Yeah, 9.
So I was wrong, but he played 9, and he got all decade in the 60s and all decade in the 70s. He played 5 years in the 60s, in 4 years in the 70s, he was so good he got all-decade both times.
Yeah, he had a chronic knee injury. I mean, his career was over in 1973, and he was still on the all-decades team of the 1970s. That goes to show you the respect that people had for Dick Butkus.
Yeah, one of the true legends, and obviously the game has changed so much. I can't even fathom what Dick Butkus thinks about today's football or did think about today's football and how he would have had to have changed his style of play.
All
Ferocious
those guys.
hitter.
Yeah, Jack Lambert, Deacon Jones, Mean Joe Green. I mean, they would not survive in today's game, I don't think.
I mean, an honest question. Is there a defensive player in the league right now who you look at and he intimidates you? Sue, maybe, in his heyday?
Yeah.
Okay, Ray Lewis is long gone. I mean, I'm talking about just flat-out intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, do the Bosas intimidate people?
I don't know. To me, they don't. But there was an era where even Harrison at Pittsburgh a few years ago.
James Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel like there's the intimidation on the defense now the way it once was.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, back even 15 years ago when you had Ed Reed and Polamalu, there was still some intimidation there. But I agree, and it's the rules, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the defense can't do anything because if they go low, it's a foul. Go high, it's a foul. I mean, it's hard to be a defensive player in today's game.
Outside of Taven Bryan, he intimidated a lot of people.
Taven Bryan, yes.
When he played here. All right, what do you got going on?
Yeah, obviously a lot of Jaguar and Buffalo talk. Leon Searcy is going to join us. Of course, you hear him every day on XL Primetime. You get him weekly on Hacker After Dark. And then we're going to go back to Buffalo, a guy you know well, Rick, our friend Vic Carucci has covered the NFL for many years, Sirius XM, NFL Radio. He's based in Buffalo now, and we'll get another perspective on the Bills going into this matchup on Sunday.
Big fan of Vic. He's an NFL Hall of Fame voter and has been for quite some time. All right, enjoy the show.
Thanks, Rick.
Obviously with Hacker in right now, tomorrow night's high school football. So we will be on 3 to 6 on the AM 1010 as well as the app. As we go away and you can hear our anthem. Are you trying to tell me, JJ LaSalva, you have yet another gift?
I do. This is the last one from us for the week, folks. So call 641-1010 because I got a pair of tickets to Bethune-Cookman versus Southern. That is October 21st at the bank.
There you go. You get to talk to JJ LaSalva as well. Thank you to Tim Brando, Denny Van Sickle, Rafael Esparza. Folks, tomorrow, 3 to 6 on the AM. That's 1010, the 1010 app as well. Talk Jaguars and college football. Get you ready for the weekends.
Stretching the field is a good thing. Having a stretcher on the field is not.
Boy, this is bad news.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update. Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least